Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to show you my easiest way to make up a bus bin to grow out your worms. And if they breed in here and have babies and cocoons, it's also fine. And I'm going to show you why I'm showing you this. Now you all know that I've been trying many different types of beddings. I've tried everything. But by far, to me, this is the easiest one of the cheapest, and I'm going to show you the size of the worms that I have grown in this. Now, if you remember a few months back, I changed the bedding and I tried out straw and wood chips, and I'm going to show you why. But first, let's set this up. Okay, so this is a regular bus bin. Here I have 3 fistfuls of just chopped clean straw. I don't bring the straw that I buy for outside inside the house because it could have bugs in it, but this is nice and clean. This is the chopped up wood shavings. I believe it's pine. So I add one of these large containers, which is a yogurt container, which is about 32 ounces. I spread that out. I also add some oyster shell for the grit. I take about this much for each bin. And I know some of it is solid, but you know, when it gets wet, it starts to dissolve and it's fine. So I mix this up. And the last thing I add is paper from my shredder. I'd say about 2 fistfuls. Some people won't raise worms like breeder bins or grow out bins in paper. But I do because, let's face it, I have so much of this. It's free. I have a shredder. I mean, why not use it, right? So now the next thing I do is moisten this entire thing up. So we're going to do that. And I moisten it with warm water because it helps for everything just to soak it in better. It just does. So I'm making 3 of these at once, but I'm just focusing on one. And my sprayer is charging right now, but I will link it down below from my Amazon link if you want to buy it. But I'm just going to pour some water in here. And I'm just going to start mixing it. And you will see water standing at the bottom. But you know, you got to give it a chance to absorb into everything. I don't suggest you do the straw and wood pine thing the same day you get your worms. I would do this days ahead so that this material has a chance to, you know, absorb all the water really well without you having to like overload it with water. But for demonstration purposes, I'm showing you. And see, there's water standing at the bottom, so I'm just going to keep mixing. Now, if you ever add too much water, like your bucket shakes and you spill it, don't panic. Just add more paper, and the paper will absorb it and just take care of the rest for you. So this is mixing up really well. Now, for this, you can add peat moss to it. If you do, add some lime, and you can add some coconut coir, which I did one with coconut coir because I have some of it sitting around. It's not doing anything, so I might as well use it. See the water at the bottom? It's starting to be absorbed. So I just keep mixing. But guys, the reason I'm showing you this is because I have raised some big worms before, but I think these are the king of the worm sizes I have raised for European night crawlers. And I'm going to show them to you. And this is the exact method that I did to raise them like that. Now, I don't know if the bedding is what did it, or my worm chow, or maybe the bacteria that this develops, you know, the microbes, and they eat that. You know, I don't exactly know. But I know that when I did this, and I fed them my worm chow, yeah, I have some monster worms. They're the biggest Euros I've ever raised. So I'm going to show them to you. And then you be the judge. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to get them. Okay. So this is the one that I did a while ago and I already had prepared. As you can see, it's the straw with the pine shavings and some newspaper strips. I'm gonna show you the worms. I pulled some out to make it easier for you to spot. Look at the size of these worms. These are European night crawlers. I raised in that. These are some whopper worms. Like, oh my gosh, guys, I give myself a pat on the back for this one. Look at them, they're massive. Wow, that's a big worm. So I raised them in this, and I've been feeding them chow that I make, that I'm gonna give you the recipe for. What do you think? Aren't they huge? So I'm gonna let them go back home. And we're gonna continue with the bins that I am preparing, because I have more of those monsters, and I'm gonna divide them and put them in my new bins because I'm trying to grow my wall out. So I'm here at one of my European Nightcrawler nursery bins that I think has exploded with worms. So since I'm growing my population, oh gosh, here they are. I'm looking for big ones to put in the grow out bins. See, that's a nice big one right there. So what I do is I just pull back the burlap. Sorry guys. And I put this here and I start digging through looking for the monsters. Now I pick any worm that's I feel big enough to start growing out. You know, I look for the clitellum that's mature. See, that's a nice worm. And I put them in here. Sometimes I count them, sometimes I don't. See, that's a little guy right there. As you can see, they have done an amazing job with this bedding. This is like, it's ready to harvest. I could let them work it a little bit more, but I want to get a bunch of mature ones out of here so that I could put them in the grow out bins. So that's what I'm going to do. Now sometimes European night crawlers get a little aggravated and they'll drop their tails. You'll see like their tail come off and it's like, yuck. I try to be as gentle as I can with them so they don't do that. But, you know, they grow pretty fast, especially with the chow I'm giving them. They're getting nice and fat. Look at the little yellow tail, see? So this is like the rotation. I'm sorry I keep sniffling. I have such allergies. It's that time of year. But as you can see, this bedding is like loaded. Loaded. So I fluff it up. Look, another big one. I fluff it up as I go to give it some air, to get underneath, because sometimes the big ones, they'll go down. Maybe because it's more moist down there, and they'll hide down there, and then you can go down there and get them. But yeah, this is definitely has a lot of worms in here. Oof, a lot. We're talking a lot. Yeah, they're nice. Some of them are just ready to go. Now look at that big boy. Look at that nice fellow right there. So once I get the mature ones out of here, as many as I want to put in the grow out bin, I'll put it in the grow out bin that's already ready for me to go. I'll put them in there. I won't cover them the first night with burlap and plastic because I want to give them a chance to go down to see the light. In the mistake, I have covered them immediately. And the next morning I'll come and sometimes I'll see worms on the ground. So keeping them uncovered the first day or 2 or 3 just says to them, hey, don't come out. Stay down there. You'll be safer. So a lot of people put 250 worms in a grow out bin when they're this big. And I've done that, and I think that's a good number. Because if you overload the grow out bin, they're going to think they don't have enough room, and they're going to self-regulate. Which means that some of them are going to die off just to make room for babies. This thing is so big. Look at this. Wow. So guys, wait till you see the wormery, how it's coming out. I haven't showed you since we've been doing more in there because I want it to be a surprise. But yeah, it's looking really good. Things are coming along, definitely coming along. I'm seeing a lot of cocoons in here, so they're definitely doing their thing in here. They're breeding. So a lot of people from the south are buying my worms. I think because they're going fishing. Yeah, a lot of the southern states are contacting me. And he's little, but he's chubby. He has a clitellum, so I'll put him in there. See, look. Now you're probably wondering why I'm not using that giant shaker to do this. Well, there's two reasons. The first reason is the bedding is kind of wet and all it's going to do is clog it up. And the second reason is I want to show you the worms. If I just dump them in there, you're not going to have a chance to see them, and I'd miss the opportunity of teaching you something. So that's why I'm doing it like this. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but to me, working with worms is one of my therapeutic things. You know, I do a lot of things. I know most of you who know me know that. But working with worms is just one of my favorite things. Look at these. These are nice. So if I want to put this in the giant shaker, what I would have to do is dry it out. I'd have to leave this cover off and every day come down here and fluff it up until I feel that it's okay to put through the machine. I can't tell you if that'll be a day, or 2 days, a week. It all depends on your wormery, the temperature, the humidity, you know, whether you have them indoor or outdoor. I have mine in the basement. I have a finished basement, and I have a room that's special for them. So we control the temperatures here. Even though this winter I had a hard time a little bit. You know, we had an ice storm, and I had a hard time keeping it warm down here, and I lost some of my African night crawlers. But what are you gonna do, right? I tried. It's not like I didn't try. So I'm gonna keep looking for mature worms, and then I'm gonna get these over here and bring them over there so I can show you that process, and then later I'll continue. Okay, so I picked out some worms. Here they are. I'm gonna go weigh them, and I'm gonna let you know how many are on here. Okay, instead of using my regular scale in here, I went and used a digital one so I could get a more accurate number. So there's 5 ounces in here, and they're really nice looking worms. So we're going to spread them out in here, and like I said earlier, I'm going to leave the light on, and I'm not going to cover them tonight because I want them to go down and not be naughty. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to come check on them and see how they're doing. And then once I'm comfortable with them being down there and not coming out, then we're going to cover this with burlap and a piece of plastic. And there we go. So this is the basic, easiest way to put worms in a grow out bin to make them nice and fat. All the supplies here you could get on Amazon. The chopped straw, the pine shavings, the oyster shell, and you could get everything on Amazon. I'm gonna link it down below, and if you shop through my link for these supplies or anything else that you shop for, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and Amazon gives me a commission. Plus, you know what else I noticed? I don't know who buys what. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, if you need anything, you know, shampoo, deodorant, I don't know, new bathing suit, whatever it is, you can go through the link and get whatever you want. I wasn't sure about that. I had to find that out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Give me the thumbs up, because when you do that, YouTube knows that you're watching my videos. We have commercials now in the videos because there are ads running, because I have been monetized. It's no big secret. So don't skip them, because if you skip them, then they don't pay me. So what I do is when I watch your videos and I see commercials, I take the opportunity and I go to the bathroom, or I go get a drink or a snack or something, just to give it a chance. Or I actually watch the ad. It might be something I'm actually interested in. Actually, that's how I noticed my new car, through one of those ads. So anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.